It's the most common question used to doubt evolution. If humans evolved from apes, why do apes still exist? We often visualize evolution as a linear ladder, a straight march of progress where a lower animal morphs into a human. But humans and modern apes are actually cousins, sharing an extinct common ancestor. Evolution is a branching tree. This leads to another massive misconception. We often hear survival of the fittest and picture physical dominance, apex predators with massive muscles and sharp teeth. In reality, evolution has no final destination or preferred shape. It is a directionless process of an organism fitting into its specific, local environment. This true pattern of life was first deciphered by Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace. They spent years observing how similar species seemed slightly modified to survive in different environments. Wallace arrived at the exact same conclusion independently while working in Southeast Asia, providing the validation that solidified the theory. The defining moment came when Darwin sketched his thoughts in a private notebook. Above a simple branching diagram, he wrote 3 words: "I think." This realization creates a massive question. If there is no overarching design or linear path, what biological engines are powerful enough to build the staggering complexity of life we see today? The first engine is natural selection, which is driven by fitness. In biology, being fit simply means you are well adapted to your local environment, whether that's a specific temperature or a particular type of predator. Take a population of frogs in a green forest. Due to random mutations, some are born brown, others green. Because brown frogs are easily visible against leaves, predators eat them. The green frogs survive, reproduce, and pass their camouflage traits to the next generation. Natural selection acts as an unguided filter. Nature doesn't choose a winner. The environment simply removes the individuals that don't fit. This process relies on raw material provided by genetic mutation, random, accidental changes in DNA that occur during reproduction. Sometimes a small, isolated group of individuals gets separated from the main population. This is known as the founder effect, where the random traits of a few individuals dictate the entire genetic future of that lineage. We see this in the Amish community today. Because they descended from a small number of founders and remained isolated, specific recessive genes are now found at much higher rates than in the general population. While the mutations themselves are random accidents of DNA, their survival is strictly non-random. It is dictated by the constant pressure of the world around them. But how can a blind, accidental process engineer something as complex as a working eye? Richard Dawkins describes this as the blind watchmaker. It is a process that produces results as intricate as a watch, but without any deliberate designer. The eye began as a flat patch of cells distinguishing light from dark. A mutation curving that patch into a cup allowed it to detect a shadow's direction. Over millions of generations, that cup closes into a pinhole structure, focusing light into a clear image. When you combine this blind watchmaker with millions of years of deep time, incremental 1% improvements inevitably engineer the miracles of biology. If we walk backward down the branches of our tree, we connect with other mammals, then tetrapods, then fish, and eventually single-celled microbes. At the very base of the tree, roughly 4 billion years ago, is Luca, the last universal common ancestor. Every living thing on Earth today shares this same starting point. This means our DNA is effectively a genetic book of the dead, a biological ledger that records every environment our ancestors managed to survive. Seemingly useless traits like the human appendix or the pinky toe are part of this ledger. They are the historical baggage and raw proof of our 4 billion-year journey. Evolution is not a guess. Like gravity, the combination of genetics, direct observation, and the fossil record makes it a settled scientific fact. We are not the final rung on a ladder of perfection, nor are we the absolute owners of this planet. Recognizing evolution doesn't diminish our worth. It proves that we are a living, breathing part of an unbroken 4 billion-year-old masterpiece, the Tree of Life.